What are the musical influences that inspire you? So I did a sit down interview last week where I talked about some different artists, but I wanted to talk about the overall musical styles that actually influenced me as well. First of all, I will say that I am a 90s baby, a 90s kid, at least grew up in the 90s, and I've always been inspired by 90s music, whether that be pop, hip hop, R&B, rock, rap, all of it. What vocal effects do I like? Of course, everybody knows about auto tune. I think it's a beautiful thing. There's a time and a place for it. The way that I see it, there's two different kinds of auto tune. There is a hard tune and there is a manual tune. If it's a manual type of tune, it's like individually fixing each note. But if it's an auto tune, they put it in a certain key and the system kind of automatically updates it. So it gives it a little more of a dramatic sound, a little more of a drop and a lift. There's also some other types of distortion that I love. The delay, which sounds like an echo. I love the reverb and I love the stutter effects. I think when something stutters to a beat, it sounds super, super cool. So sometimes in the studio, I'll do this by recording it that way, or we will take a vocal and we'll just copy and paste it to give it that stutter effect. And then there are some effects that you can just simply put into the song. Like I like this effect that is like a tape drop, they call it. So it's like kind of like that thing where the music's going, the voice is going, but then it goes like it kind of like fades out. And then when I'm recording a song in the studio, I will always say, can we make it boom more? Can we get some booms to put in there? Can we make it bigger? Can we make it boom? I don't even know exactly what effects we put in when we call it that, but that's what I call it. Without getting more into specific artists and how they make their music, I became a big fan of the melodic rap that I think is done by a lot of different artists, rap artists, pop artists, country artists. It's kind of where it's more of a rap. You're going to the bars, but you also have some melody in it. So you might not be hitting them high notes or singing to impress on the performance of hitting those specific notes, but you do have melody into it. It does feel more musically inclined for me in that way. If I had to sum it up, I'm inspired by the 90s. I'm inspired by all these beautiful effects that you can create in the studio that I've heard in thousands of different songs. And I'm inspired by the style of melodic rap. Those influences together have come together to develop my musical style. The tempo changes in the song or adding instruments to add drama to build up to a moment. You know, you think of that climax note or hitting the apex of the song. So I feel like that can be done a few different ways. I'm a fan of when the tempos change up in the middle of the song. And I also like it when you're adding instruments to add that drama, build to that climax. I would be very curious to know what artists, what styles, what eras of music, what instruments, vocal effects, what inspires you? Because as we go into the studio, we are in that moment recording artists because we are getting a sound recording. I want to know what inspires you musically.